Ni hao, greetings, this is Mr. K's, and this is chapter 4.4. Today we're looking at an empire that unifies China in ancient times. The philosophy and social order are going to be important when we talk about this character. Confucius. Confucius was a scholar and philosopher, and he believed in the 5 human relations to restore order, harmony, and good government. Well, who is this guy? Well, he's a teacher. He's also an advisor. And he's saying the best government is if the example is set by the ruler. Now let's talk about these 5 human relations. The first one is superior. The second one is inferior. Ruler and subject. Older brother and younger brother. Father and son, friend and friend, and husband and wife. The first one's superior, second one's inferior. Sorry, gals. It doesn't mean that the inferior person is dog meat. It just means that they look up to the superior one, and the superior one's job is to shepherd the inferior, take care of them, etc., etc. There's a mutual respect there. Confucius also talked about filial piety, in which you owe respect to your parents and anyone older than you. Filial piety. It has to do with knowing your place. Now, Confucius never wrote anything down, but his disciples or his followers did after his death. The collection of writings were called the Analects. The Analects. And so we have an understanding long after Confucius dies of an ordered society within China. And again, it means that the ruler has to be a good Boy Scout. If he's not, then rebellion is justified. Confucius wanted rulers to be virtuous or good people because of that example that's set. And bureaucrats or mandarins or helpers in the government were supposed to be worthy of being looked up to too. The emperor ruled over such a huge area that he had to have a trained group of people to help him. And that's known as a bureaucracy. And the Chinese gave the world a trained civil service. How do you get a civil service job? You take a civil service exam. So education became the key to a good life. People that were, in theory, people that were poor could raise their status by education, but in reality, poor people couldn't afford to send their kids to school, so it was only the rich people that were able to get an education. Another philosopher around this time is Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu thought that it was important for man to live a harmonious life with nature. Natural order is important. Nature is important. Follow nature and live in harmony with it. Don't live an artificial life. So Lao Tzu would say, follow the natural way. Humans are the only ones that do not live in harmony with nature. Now, about this time you have a writing called the Tao Te Ching, the Way of Virtue. And it stated that universal force guided all things and only humans failed to follow nature, like Lao Tzu said. So Lao Tzu's philosophy is known as Taoism. Taoism, it might be spelled T-A-O or it might be spelled D-A-O. Tao means the way. And the Taoists were in the search for understanding and knowledge, and so through scientific study they discovered certain things like that the earth is magnetic, and they invented compasses, and they also were some of the ones to discover the properties of gunpowder when you put flint, magnesium, and sulfur together. Now, a third philosophy is called legalism. Legalism came about during a time when there was a 300-year civil war in China, and really there was no strong emperor to unite everybody. So legalism talked about an efficient and powerful government that's needed to restore order from chaos, and it was founded by Han Feizi. Han Feizi. It was heavy on punishments and rewards and harsh punishments for all crimes. So you're going to lessen the chance somebody is going to break the law by the idea that there's going to be a severe punishment, like maybe getting your hand chopped off or your head chopped off. A book that came about is called the I Ching, and it talked about ethical problems and the answers to them. The Chinese were very superstitious. They read oracles. They tossed coins. They courted the spirit world to ascertain whether they'd have luck or not. And the I Ching was a combination of all that, good advice with common sense. And then an icon you will see that typifies Taoism is the yin and the yang. The idea that there's two powers that represent the natural rhythms of life. You see here light and darkness, male and female, positive and negative. And the Taoist would say you need to understand that there's that ebb and flow of nature and to live in harmony with it. Because of the chaos of the 300 years of civil war, the Qin dynasty started. Notice how it's pronounced, Qin, but it's spelled Q-I-N. It was a very short rule, but it replaced the last dynasty, the Zhou dynasty, that fell into disrepair. And legalism was the order of the day. You're going to find out why it was so short, because people couldn't live in such a very stressful society. And the emperor that embraced legalism was Shi Huangdi. He unifies China after 300 years of civil war. He forced the nobles to live close to him at the capital. He got rid of Confucian scholars. He burned them, and all books, Confucius writings, were burned also. Legalist thought was the only order of the day. Shi Huangdi ruled as an autocrat. That means he did not consult anybody. He wields power as he sees fit, unlimited, arbitrarily. Now, we got to give Shi Huangdi some love. He did do some good things. He built roads. He had uniform currency, money, uniform laws, uniform styles of writing, and weights and measures so trade increases. And he begins to build the Great Wall of China. Now, after he dies, every emperor continues to build the Great Wall to keep marauding tribesmen out. By about 200 BC, though, 2,200 years ago, the Qin dynasty falls into disrepair because of the harshness of the rule. People can't stand it. Well, you have the three philosophies here, Taoism, Confucianism, and legalism, that set the stage for an orderly China. This is Mr. Kays, and I'll see you down the Great Wall. Bye-bye.